Hello students, in the previous class we have studied aldol condensation, right? And what is aldol condensation? That when two molecules of aldehyde or ketone, they react together in the presence of dilute alkali, they condense together to form a compound which is beta hydroxyaldehyde or ketone, which on dehydration will yield alpha beta unsaturated aldehyde or ketone, right? So we have done two more or three examples of that. Now a question arises that whether the reaction can be carried out between two different aldehydes or between an aldehyde or and ketone. So the answer is yes. This reaction can also be carried out between two different aldehydes or between an aldehyde and a ketone, right? Or between two different ketones, right? And the reaction is known as cross aldol condensation. So in today's class we will study about the cross aldol condensation. So let's start. We will study crossed aldol condensation, right? Now in cross aldol condensation we have to take two different compounds. So let us first do the reaction with two different aldehydes. So I am taking here ethanol and propanol. Right? Now the reaction is carried out in the presence of dilute alkali. Got it? Now here this is acting as an electrophile and this is acting as a nucleophile. The one which is acting as a nucleophile, you have to remove the alpha hydrogen from there. So what will happen? Which is alpha carbon here? This one is alpha carbon, right? So hydrogen from here, it will go here and will form OH. So what will happen? We will get the compound CH3C and here OH. This H will come like that. Now since the hydrogen from here has been removed and this carbon will bear the negative charge. Okay, so this is a nucleophilic center. So this carbon will go and attack here. So it will attach like that, CH, because H is already removed. Now this CH3 you have to write either up or down and CHO. So we get, see, this is your aldehyde group. So this is alpha carbon and this is your beta carbon. So it is beta hydroxyaldehyde, right? Aldol is formed. IUPAC name is different. What is IUPAC name? It is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 methyl. First of all 3 hydroxy. It is 3 hydroxy, 2 methyl and then butanol. So this is formed. Afterwards you know that dehydration will take place, okay, and water will be removed. We will get alpha beta unsaturated aldehyde, means we will get 2 methyl butanol. Butanol will be formed, isn't it? So this is the one product which will be formed in cross aldol condensation. But students, in cross aldol condensation we will not get only one product, we will get more than one product. Why? Because now it is acting as an electrophile and this propanol is acting as a nucleophile. The reverse can also happen, means this propanol can act as an electrophile and this ethanol can act as a nucleophile. So one more product will be formed. Okay, so let us make the second product. This you note down, this product. Now make the second product. For making the second product, we will take propanol as an electrophile. So we will take here propanol and the ethanol we will take now as a nucleophile. Condition will be same. This is your alpha carbon, so from here the hydrogen will be removed. So it will become OH, H will come here So CH to CH. So this is how you will get alpha, this beta hydroxy aldehyde. The name of the compound is 3-hydroxy pentanal. Commonly it is also aldol. Now water will be removed and you will get here pentoenal. Got it? So first product was different. Now you see you are getting pentoenal. This is the second product. Okay, this is your second product. Now these propanol molecules can also react with themselves. Here this is acting as an electrophile and this is acting as a nucleophile. Now what will happen? This propanol molecule can react with itself also. So one more product we can get, means when it reacts with itself, means propanol is the electrophile and propanol is the nucleophile, because we are not putting only one molecule, we will take so many molecules, so they can react together also. And what will happen in the presence of dilute NaOH? You will get here from here, because this is your alpha carbon, so from here attachment will take place. This you have to remember, because most of the students what they do, they will attach from here, but we have to always attach from the alpha carbon, so you attach from here. Okay, so we will get this aldol. Okay, you can write IUPAC name on your own, and then it will lose water molecule and we will get here alpha beta unsaturated aldehyde. Okay, so this product will also be formed, and what is the name of the product? This is 2-methyl pentoenal. 2-methyl pentoenal. This is the third product, isn't it? So this is your third product. Now here I have reacted propanol. Similarly I can react this ethanol together. So if I react ethanol together, okay, so you will get here first beta hydroxyaldehyde, which will lose water molecule, okay, to give you alpha beta unsaturated aldehyde, that is butenal. Means this is your fourth product. The first product which was formed was 2-methyl butenal. Okay, this was the first product which was formed. So this is how, when we have cross aldol condensation, we get 1, 2, 3 and 4 products. Okay, so this is how cross aldol condensation is done. Means you can do the cross aldol condensation between two different aldehyde, or you can take one aldehyde and the other one ketone. But here in this case we will get 4 different products, not a single product. We will get 4 different products. Now one more thing you have to remember, students, and what is that? If suppose there is 2 molecules, 2 different molecules, out of them one is having the alpha hydrogen, the other is not having the alpha hydrogen, can the reaction undergo? So what is the answer? Answer is yes. If one of them do not contain alpha hydrogen and the other contain alpha hydrogen, then also cross aldol condensation can occur, because the one which is not containing alpha hydrogen can act as electrophile, and the other which contain alpha hydrogen will act as nucleophile, and the reaction will take place. So we will do one example of this also. So such as the reaction between methanol and ethanol. Okay, the reaction between methanol. Now you see here methanol. In this methanol we have only one carbon, so no alpha carbon is there, therefore no alpha hydrogen is there. So it will act as electrophile. The one which do not contain alpha hydrogen will act as electrophile. The other one we are taking is ethanol. Now this ethanol contains alpha hydrogen, so it can act as nucleophile. Okay, now in the presence of dilute alkali, the similar reaction will take place and you will get here beta hydroxyaldehyde. Okay, this is 3-hydroxy propanol. Now it will undergo dehydration to give you prop-to-enol. So aldol condensation can be undergone. Now here, because this is cross aldol condensation, so 4 products should be formed, but no, because here this methanol cannot act as a nucleophile, so we cannot replace their position, so that product will not be formed. Methanol again could not react with itself to form the product, so that will also not be formed. So only one more product, that is ethanol, reacting with ethanol will lead to the formation of product, and we have done many times this reaction. So what will be the product? I will write the final product here. We will get butyl. So we will get 2 products, prop-to-enol and butyl, by the reaction of methanol and ethanol. Similarly, you can do the reaction between benzaldehyde and any other aldehyde containing alpha hydrogen. So just what you have to remember is that if one of them contain alpha hydrogen, the other do not contain, then also we can undergo the cross aldol condensation. Okay, now come to the next reaction, and that is Cannizzaro reaction. Next reaction is Cannizzaro reaction. Now in Cannizzaro reaction, what happens that when alpha, now you know that in aldol condensation what is the must condition? That the compound should contain alpha hydrogen and the reaction take place in the presence of dilute alkali. Now this Cannizzaro reaction, here there should be no alpha hydrogen. The aldehydes which do not contain alpha hydrogen, they will undergo this Cannizzaro reaction, and the reaction will take place in the presence of concentrated alkali, in the presence of concentrated NaOH. Here the molecule will undergo disproportionation reaction. Okay, it itself get oxidized and reduced, and we will get an alcohol and sodium salt of acid from it. So let us see the reaction. We will show the reaction with the help of benzaldehyde. Now you know that in benzaldehyde, this carbon do not contain, this is your alpha carbon, and it do not contain any hydrogen because here aldehyde group is attached. So no alpha hydrogen is present, and we will take 2 molecules of this. So when it reacts in the presence of concentrated alkali, concentrated NaOH, so it undergoes disproportionation, and its oxidation take place, which result in the formation of sodium salt of acid. So this is sodium benzoate, and its reduction lead to the formation of alcohol, and you will get here benzyl alcohol. So one acid molecule and one alcohol is formed. Sodium salt of acid and alcohol is formed, and the reaction is disproportionation reaction. You know that aldehyde get oxidized to carboxylic acid and it get reduced to alcohol. So on oxidation it is giving sodium salt of acid, on reduction it is giving alcohol. and it undergoes both oxidation as well as reduction, that is disproportionation. So this is your Cannizzaro reaction, that when aldehyde in the presence of concentrated alkali, it should not contain alpha hydrogen, right? It undergoes disproportionation to give alcohol and sodium salt of acid. Another such molecule can be methanol. So when methanol is treated with concentrated alkali, it will also give you sodium methanoate and methyl alcohol. Okay, this is methanol, formaldehyde. This is benzaldehyde. This reaction is known as Cannizzaro's reaction. Okay, now next reaction which we will study is Perkin's reaction. Students, one more thing, that when we are carrying out the cross aldol condensation, in which one of the molecule you are taking a benzaldehyde, okay, that condensation where one is benzaldehyde, the other may be any aldehyde or ketone, that reaction is known as, please note down because I have forgotten there, Claisen-Schmidt reaction. Claisen-Schmidt reaction, where one molecule is benzaldehyde, the other may be any other aldehyde or ketone. So the condensation, the cross aldol condensation is named as Claisen-Schmidt reaction. Okay, now come to the Perkin's reaction. In Perkin's reaction, when an aromatic aldehyde, say benzaldehyde, it is heated with an acid anhydride, okay, in the presence of sodium salt of same acid. We are taking acid anhydride, so the anhydride of acid and the sodium salt of acid, both acid should be same. Okay, so when an aromatic aldehyde, it is heated with acid anhydride in the presence of sodium salt of same acid, right, alpha beta unsaturated acid is formed. See how? This is aromatic aldehyde, that is benzaldehyde. Now in the presence of we will take here I'm just breaking and writing it. Okay, this is acetic anhydride, anhydride of acetic acid. This is benzaldehyde. Okay, now in the presence of sodium salt of same acid, say sodium acetate, then what will happen? First of all, from here water is removed, dehydration of the molecule will take place, and you will get here double bond CH. This molecule will add here. Okay, this is an intermediate which is formed here. Further, what will happen? Further hydrolysis will take place. Okay, and we will get here cinnamic acid. This water, it is added like that. OH this side and H will be going this side. So this CH3COH will be removed, and then here we will get CH double bond CH COH. This is known as cinnamic acid and acetic acid. So cinnamic acid is formed. Okay, now this is your alpha and this is your beta carbon. So alpha beta unsaturated acid will be formed. This reaction is known as Perkin's reaction. Got it? So these are the reactions of aldehydes and ketones. Okay, now we will study the reaction, electrophilic substitution reactions in aromatic aldehydes and ketones. electrophilic substitution reaction. Now see the structure of benzaldehyde. Here this carbonyl group, this group is having minus M effect. It will withdraw the electron from the benzene ring. So let us draw the resonating structure. This carbonyl group being polar, oxygen will withdraw the electron from this double bond. Hence carbon will become positively charged. So it will withdraw the electron from the benzene ring. So we will have double bond here, O minus H, right? And here positive charge will come because the electrons have moved away. Now these electrons will move here, these pi electrons. So here double bond, positive charge, this will remain as such. Okay. Now these electrons will move here. And here double bond, here positive charge. Okay. Then further these electrons will go back to this position and the electrons which were present on oxygen, they will come back to this position. So these will come here and we will get double bond here, single bond, double bond OH. So these are the resonating structures of benzaldehyde. Now you can see that here ortho position, para position, and this is also your ortho position. These positions, they are positively charged. So electrophile cannot come because electrophile is also positively charged or electron deficient. So it cannot come and attack at those positions. Now the remaining position is only meta position. Hence the electrophile can come and attack at meta position, and therefore they are meta directing groups. Okay, they deactivate because they are withdrawing the electron from the benzene ring. Hence they deactivate the ring. Therefore they will form all the meta products. Whatever the reaction will occur, they will form meta products. So one by one we will do the electrophilic substitution reaction. So first we will do bromination. So what happens when benzaldehyde, it is treated with bromine. Okay, in the presence of anhydrous, Lewis acid is required, FeBr3, ferric bromide. So you will get here meta-bromobenzaldehyde. At meta position it will come, okay, plus HBr. So meta-bromobenzaldehyde will be formed. That is bromination. Similarly, we will do nitration. So, when benzaldehyde, for nitration we require nitrating mixture, that is concentrated nitric acid and concentrated sulfuric acid. See, here we require them because these reaction cannot be carried out without the help of catalyst, because already the carbonyl group is a deactivating group and it will deactivate the ring. So we require them. Okay. So here what will happen? The nitro group will come at the meta position. Okay. We will get here meta plus H2, meta nitro benzaldehyde. Similar reaction you can show with acetophenone also. Okay, so no issues. You can do with benzaldehyde, you can also do with acetophenone. Then it will be meta nitro acetophenone. I will show you that also. Suppose here I have taken benzaldehyde. Suppose I take here acetophenone. formaldehyde reacted with concentrated nitric acid and concentrated sulfuric acid. This will remain as such, only the nitro group will come at the meta position and we will get meta nitro acetophenone. Okay, so we can do with any. Similarly, if we have to do sulfonation, for sulfonation the reaction will be carried out in the presence of oleum. So concentrated sulfuric acid, here we will write SO3. We can directly write oleum also. So we will get this sulfonic acid group will come at the meta position and the name of the group will be, now this will become the substituent because sulfonic acid has more priority. So metaformyl benzene sulfonic acid. Okay, metaformyl benzene sulfonic acid will be formed. So here all the chemical reactions of aldehydes and ketones are finished. Okay, now some of the uses are there. So formaldehyde, it is used to prepare formalin. I have already told it is 40% aqueous solution of formaldehyde which is used to preserve the biological specimen because it is a germicide, it is an antiseptic and it is used to preserve the biological specimen. Now this a very important use of formaldehyde. Formalin to hai, and one more important use is there, that is it is used in making of a drug known as urotropin. When formaldehyde, it is treated with ammonia, it forms CH2. So when formaldehyde, it reacts with ammonia, it forms urotropin, right? And this is the structure of urotropin. It is a very important urinary infection drug which is used to treat urinary infection. So that is urotropin. Now formaldehyde is also used to prepare bakelite. When it is condensed with phenol, bakelite is formed. Bakelite is a plastic which is used to make electric switches and all, right? Now acetophenone. Acetophenone, it is a hypnotic drug and it is used under the name Hypnone, right? Hypnotic, you know hypnotic drugs. Hypnotic drugs, it is treated, it is used as Hypnone. Now the next use of acetophenone is it is used to prepare a compound known as phenacyl chloride. What is it? Phenacyl chloride. This phenacyl chloride, it is lacrimator. Lacrimator is a compound which will create tears, which will produce tears, and it is used in the production of tear gas. Okay, so acetophenone, it is used to prepare phenacyl chloride, which is a lacrimator. It is used in tear gas. So two uses of acetophenone are there. Under the Hypnone, it is used as a hypnotic drug, and to prepare the lacrimator, that is used in tear gas. And there are three uses of formaldehyde as a formalin for the urotropin, for formation of urotropin, and for the bakelite. Okay, so this part, that is aldehyde and ketone part, is finished. In the next one we will study about the carboxylic acid. Till then, goodbye.